So the movie I chose was Good Will Hunting. Good Will Hunting is about a 20-year-old man who is played by Matt Damon, who has a genius level IQ. Instead of taking advantage of his genius talents, he chooses to work as a janitor at MIT. His talents are discovered by Professor Gerald Lambeau when Will Hunting solves a difficult math problem that he assigned for his class. Professor Lambeau's hopes was to become a mentor and help Will reach his genius potentials. When Will gets arrested for several assaults, Professor Lambeau made a deal with Will to meet with a therapist, Sean McGuire, who is played by Robin Williams, so he can stay out of jail. So I chose Mise en Scène because I thought the design for this film was really great. The design was made for the late 1990s. As you can see here, the character Will, he has the hairstyle of 90s curtains, and the clothes that Will and his friends wear comes to play with the fact that they're in the lower to middle class. Here is a picture of his friends, and then you can also see that Ben Affleck, he has some of the slick hair back, which was also really popular in the late 1990s. And then as for Professor Lambeau, Sean, and Skylar, they're more in the upper class, so they are more dressed up. The cars also come to play with the fact that it's made for the 1990s. As you can see, this car is like an old car. It's more from the 70s to the 90s. I also chose acting because I thought Matt Damon did a wonderful job playing Will Hunting, and I feel like nobody could have portrayed this character as well as he did. Since Will wrote this character and grew with this character, he understood that Will had a really bad childhood and he had a lot of a lot of trauma. So I feel like he really understood that and he played it very well. He was also intelligent, witty, and very handsome, so I thought that all comes to play with the character. The first theme I the first theme I chose was trust, because you can see that throughout the whole film, Will has a lot of trust issues. He doesn't allow himself to be super vulnerable with people. For example, his girlfriend, Skylar, right here, she asks him to come to California with him, but he starts, instead of saying yes and wanting to be with her, he starts fighting it because he's so afraid that she's going to leave him just like his parents did. So this comes to play with the abandonment issues that he has and how he doesn't trust people other than his friends. I also put pictures of Sean because Sean never really sorry, Professor Lambeau. This is Professor Lambeau. Sorry about that. Um, Professor Lambeau never really understood how Will felt. Like he just wanted Will to reach his potential as a genius, but never, um, he never. Sorry, I can't find the word. He never really he never really. I'm so sorry. He never really. He never really allowed himself to be to know how Will felt. So the other theme I chose was friendship because Will has his group of friends whom he is very comfortable with, and even his therapist Sean. He was fighting with Professor Lambeau in one scene, saying that the reason why he's so comfortable and why he allows himself to be vulnerable with his friends is because his friends will take a bullet for him, and nobody else has done that for him. Will becomes very vulnerable throughout the film because of his friendship with Sean, who is his therapist. And Sean just believed in Will when Will didn't believe in himself. So sometimes this is a quote in the film that sometimes you just need somebody to believe in yourself so you can believe in yourself as well. So you need somebody else to believe in you so you can believe in yourself. And that's what Sean told Will. And I put pictures of his friends. So here are his group of friends that are in the movie. This is Sean and Will Hunting. And then this is him and Skylar, who he allows himself to be vulnerable with. So I chose this movie scene for acting and friendship. Oh, I'm sorry. It cannot be played. But so pretty much in this movie scene is when Will Hunting is finally vulnerable and becomes the person who he wants to be, and this makes him decide to actually move to California with Skylar. Sean, in this scene, Sean was reviewing um, his his records, and he saw that his parents left him. So Sean began to say, "It's not your fault," and Will started saying that, "I know it's not, but I don't." But Sean knew that Will didn't really understand that it wasn't his fault, so he kept repeating it and repeating it, and then he finally broke down crying, and this is when he was finally vulnerable and was a better, not a better person, but he allowed himself to trust others, and he just allowed himself to be vulnerable. So the director was Gus Van Sant. He was born on July 24th, 1952, and he is still alive. I couldn't find much info on why he chose to direct Good Will Hunting, but I did read that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck actually wrote the whole script, and purposely wrote an intimate and very detailed sex scene that didn't really go with the storyline, to see if the directors and the team of the directors actually read the whole script. The only one who came back to him and asked about that sex scene was Gus Van Sant, and they knew that he would be the perfect director for this movie because he was actually really interested in it. I think he was really interested in it because he saw great potential for the film, and he just fell in love with the script as much as we all did. So my review for this film was a 5 because I love everything about it. I love the compositions that they do, the cinematography that they do. I just thought it was really, really amazing. And I just think it was a really great film. I'm not being biased. I don't know if you've watched it, but you should definitely watch it. I'm pretty sure you've watched it, though. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for listening. Bye, Ms. Montoy. Have a nice day.